he did.
What is up, y'all? We have had an amazing time, but we're going to make this announcement again. This is our last episode for the year.
Oh, you going to tell them? Oh, okay.
We usually don't ever know that it's our last one of the year. We usually just stop and say, oh, that last one was the last one. But we're going to tell y'all, this is our last episode of 2021. We're going to go into the holidays and start the new year fresh. You know, we're going to be back 2022, bigger and better than ever. Who knows what life will look like for us then, any of us. So we hope
we may pop in with some Facebook lives and Instagram lives in between if we must.
If we must.
Insecure season is on right now. We might have to just jump out and talk about some stuff.
We know how much y'all might miss it. So a couple of things for this last episode. By now, if you have or have not, our Sonic commercial is airing. And we are in a national commercial right now. So if you have heard the voices or seen the faces and thought, where do I know them from? It's us.
It's us.
That's crazy, girl. So we shot this commercial back in July. The video vlog of it is on our YouTube page, Oh No Girl Yes. So you can go see a little bit of behind the scenes of our process of doing that. But hopefully you've seen it. If you've seen it, tag Sonic and tell me you want more of us. Okay. All right. And then also, make sure you subscribe to YouTube and all that good stuff, and you can always get caught up if you have not gotten caught up. So what we've decided to talk about for this last episode of 2021 is just our 2021, what the year has been like for us dating, how have we grown, what have we learned? I'll let you go first.
Yeah, because mine is a short thing, right? And I was telling you off camera, I feel like I was more active in the year 2020 than I have been in the year 2021 as far as dating is concerned. Crazy enough, it was a pandemic, but I was meeting more people. I was, going on dates and stuff like that. So 2021 has been, let me give myself a grade.
Okay, well, during grades. What grade would you give yourself? And what is this grade based on?
I think overall happiness.
Okay.
So with my dating life.
Dating, specific to dating.
Yeah, just in this year, not necessarily in my life and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to give myself a B-. Ain't that crazy? You thought I would give myself a C or a D, right?
Some lower than a B-.
Because it's based on my overall happiness. And I'm learning this from you. It's the experience at the end of the day. I had some great experiences this year. Mm-hmm. Bumble was kind of kind to me at the beginning of the year. I met one guy that I went on a couple of dates with here. I think I came to Atlanta one time and met him. It didn't work out, but it was a great experience. It was, getting to know somebody new. There was an old head that kind of reared his head again. We went on a couple of trips together. It's not where it is now, but I had a great time. Yeah. So overall, yes, I would say based on my happiness in this moment today, and I could just be in a good mood, whatever.
I think that's what's going on.
It's going to be a B-. I mean, I'm not with somebody right now. I'm not talking to anybody. But I'm not totally against it. I'm just not in that space right now. The holidays don't really make me want to be with somebody on, like some people do.
Some people, this is when they decide to get really lonely.
Yeah. But I still got some great things, I'm looking forward to personally. So I'm based on the experience and based on my happiness right now, I would have to say a B-. My success rate would have to be an F.
Okay, well, that's fair. But you know what? But even in the success rate, I'm going to give you more than an F because you live to tell the tale.
Right. I'm still here.
So right now we are counting breakups and unsuccessful relationships that you still get to laugh and talk about as success.
Right.
Because
but I have decided to take the good from those past experiences and just build on that and not worry about all that crap that didn't work out and all that kind of stuff. So
okay, so
that's the key from you. So you can blame yourself for me being.
Well, no, that's very positive. I like that. So I have been very active. I'm going to say this past year, 2021, but I would say November is when my relationship from the 17 years ago ended. And then I've been pretty active. I've dated quite a few guys. And I shouldn't even say I've dated quite a few guys. I've ended up dating a couple of guys for extended period of time, like maybe 2 to 3 months each. Okay. And what I have found is I'm good on that. Point now, probably, I don't know, whatever last episode, I was dating somebody long distance, and he is a great guy on paper. He's not a great guy for a relationship with me. Mm-hmm. And I'm consciously saying this out loud because I really don't want to have a grudge against another man in the world. Yeah. So I've gotten apologies from like 2 or 3 exes in the last few weeks. And it's not like I've accepted all the apologies, acknowledged, thank you for that. But I really didn't need them because I'm somebody who's really good about giving myself closure. I'm rarely curious about why a relationship ended. Mm-hmm. It ended. So I'm good on that. But I would give myself, if I had to give myself a grade for the past year.
Based on your happiness first.
Current happiness?
Yes.
Oh, A+. Okay. Because I'm not dealing with none of them.
Okay, but then otherwise,
just A++. I would give myself an A++ today. But yes, big picture, I was disappointed at some point in all the situations when I saw they were not going to work. Right. But I did not allow any of those situations to deter me from trying again. Mm-hmm. I will say, after my last situation with the nice, great guy who I wasn't going to be in a relationship with, I'm just not interested right now. So I've been in places emotionally, especially about men, where it's like, oh, I hate men. Oh, men are the worst. I'm not there. I just don't find them particularly interesting right now. I'm a little bored with them. Mm-hmm. So I actually have compassion for them in that they truly baseline are idiots. But again, this is not a male bashing podcast. It's just an acknowledgement and acceptance of who raised you, you know? So I'm good right now. I really want to finish the year out strong and clear and focused on myself and in my right mind. Y'all know historically, if I'm dating somebody, I lose that energy and focus for myself. So I'm really excited to be back clear. I'm not having any hurt or bad feelings about anybody I've dated. So that's always exciting. So I'm gonna give myself an A+ in the fact that I have literally tried. I have literally grown in each situation. I've challenged each situation caused me to challenge myself to grow. Mm-hmm. And I think I grew in each situation. And I don't think any of the situations were anything that I needed to continue beyond the point of where they went. So okay. I'm not looking to revisit any of them. And again, I would say I had a strong year of, like, you know, on paper, good men, you know, like successful or, you know, attractive or whatever. They just wasn't my man.
That's the thing.
He just wasn't gonna be my man.
Great man, just not my man.
Great guy from over there. He might be and you know what? Let me say this. If I had to think of, like, if I say, well, it just wasn't for me, would I recommend him to anybody else? I think the men I've dated this year, I don't think they would work with anybody. They're not going to be.
You wouldn't volunteer that, no.
They ain't going to be in a relationship with anybody. If I think of the guy from earlier this year, he was hyper masculine. At least he would tell you he was hyper masculine. And I feel like he probably just don't like women. I think it's a mommy issue. I think his mom is overbearing. And I think he just don't like women like that. The second one's just a liar, really insecure, needs validation, likes his own Facebook posts, lies about everything when there's no reason to. So no, I wouldn't recommend. And the third one just is emotionally void and bankrupt and just really has no attachment to emotions, which a lot of people will rationalize. And I try to like, oh, that's just how men are. He's also an academic, so he's science-based. I also think he is neurodivergent. So he does say and think of things differently, which I was okay with, but I just think he doesn't have the emotional bandwidth to connect. Yeah. So I would not recommend any of them to anyone that I care about or anybody that will want to be in a relationship, because I don't think they've done their work to be in a relationship. But on paper, they're handsome, they're successful, they take care of their kids, you know, they're good people in the world. Mm-hmm. Over there. Mm-hmm. There ain't gonna be nobody's good man no time soon. So what I was thinking about recently was, what do I want now? Right now, I want to accomplish some things that I just need to accomplish for myself. You know, even if it's, I've told you earlier, you know, I'm getting some work done on the house. I feel proud that I made the call and have made the commitment to get the work done on the house. Right. So I just really want to focus on things like that, commitments I need to make to myself for the betterment of my own life. And I'm really confident that It's all good, and it's exactly as it should be. So today, I feel amazing.
Right.
In all things. Also,
right.
We were talking about, we made it through the pandemic last year. We're still in the pandemic. I know we joke and say, oh, the pandemic's over, but I've had some people very close to me who are really having health issues outside of the pandemic. And it's just very sobering, that I always have a compassion for anybody who's sick. But it's like people can't help it when they're sick. And so I just have a renewed enthusiasm that I'm not sick or not sick yet, because we don't know how none of this is going to go for any of us. So I just want to take more advantage of feeling good, being healthy, knowing that I have the ability to feel better and need to take advantage of that now. And don't ever want to look back on any time that I have now as wasted, or, oh, I wish I had done that when I was this, or how sometimes you look back and you look at some clothes you wouldn't wear when you were younger. You're like, man, I should have been wearing my stomach out 25 years ago. I don't know why I ain't wear midriff tops, That's why I'll have those thoughts. Why was I always so covered up 30 years ago? I should have been showing something. So that's kind of where I am now at this age and at this point in my life. I'm that we're at the end of the year. So I think this is when we start thinking about what does next year look like, forecasting the dreams. Right. And so what would you, if you had to come up with, and we're talking about relationship wise.
Okay. Oh, girl, because I can come up with some stuff.
I know. I was going to say, we will have a long list, my career, my future.
Because I was just thinking as you were talking, I'm like, oh, yeah, I need to build my writing business some more. And, I was thinking all this stuff I needed to do.
Yes, I'm the same way. And that's why I'm like, career related. What would you like to forecast for your 2022? And before you say the forecast for 2022, what would you like to see yourself grow more into? You've already grown in some of your live situations. Like we said, we challenge ourselves to grow.
Right.
And not punt the ball at the stadium, as we would say, I would normally be like, no, but I'm trying. And then at some point you're like, okay, I'm good. What would you like to see for your 22 romantically? And how would you like to see yourself grow specifically?
All dealing in the context of a relationship.
In the context of a relationship, yes. I know you got the answer for every other thing, ma'am. In the context of a relationship.
I know this is our podcast. This is what we talk about. So what I would like to forecast is finding a meaningful relationship with someone who's into me, first of all. And I would like to establish that sooner rather than later. A lot of times I have the habit of getting involved with someone and keeping it cool, keeping it
casual, keeping it light.
Casual.
Yeah.
Which it works for me in my personality, but at the same time, it's like, okay, well, once I get to a certain point where I don't want to be casual anymore, they're already. This is what they want. This is So maybe not presenting myself as that. So that would be a personal growth for me, to not present myself as someone who just is looking for a casual something and not necessarily wanting a committed relationship with someone. So, but yeah, and I think the biggest thing I'm looking for in a future partnership or relationship is just someone, I guess, who's on my team. We're on the same team. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't necessarily mean a financial thing, or, we don't have to have everything that we like be the same and all that kind of stuff, but just on the same team when it comes to building a relationship and being serious about it. Yeah. I feel like some of the guys I've met this year that haven't worked out weren't necessarily looking for, they just wanted to be with someone. Like they wanted to be with a lot of people. Yeah. Or it felt like that. I can't prove anything. And these are people who I probably never mentioned because they're just people I meet online and stuff like that. But yeah, somebody who's on my same team and has the same goals as I do as far as a committed, long-term, successful relationship. It seems like it's not too much to ask, but it is.
It is.
It's a tall ask.
It is.
I don't understand. I feel like the older we get, the more childish these men become sometimes. And who would have thought?
I think it's worse. I think either they are worse or our perception of them is worse, because when you're younger, you're thinking, oh, well, we're young, we're going to mature. And so as you get older and it feels like the men aren't maturing, it's like, well, wait, what's the point of you getting older if you're not getting wiser, if you're not getting more settled, if you're not getting, more evolved as a person? What's the point of getting older?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And dare I say I want a friend? I always say I'm not looking for a friend, but I do want a friend.
I was going to say, I know for a fact, especially after my last situation, I really want to enjoy somebody. Like, can't wait to be around them. Like, and it's bad to say, but I realized my last situation was long distance. But when we would see each other, there would be kind of like this nervousness, tension, where it wasn't like, oh, I'm so excited to be with you. It would kind of be almost like out of duty. Like, I would literally have to say, well, am I going to get a hug? Are you going to hug me? I don't want that. I want somebody that when they see me, they light up. And I feel the same way about them. So I think that is a friendship part that would make you feel excited to just be with that person. And I also think that that's part of why we have struggled with thinking of being with someone long-term or even in the same space, because we haven't met that person that we just really get a kick out of being around all the time. I think that's how, like, girlfriends, I think that's how people end up being roommates, because like, we just have so much fun, let's just live together. I think we haven't met that guy where we're like, oh my God, we just love being around each other. We need to be together. We're like, you cool over there. I see you when I need to see you. I know what we come to do. We're going to go eat there. We're going to talk, and then I'm going to go back home and enjoy my life. I really do want that person that I just really love being around. Yeah. That's my hope. So add it to the list. Every year I come up with all these new lists of how things should be. And I do want us to continue to focus on relationship. I spent this year really focused on relationship, even though I had a lot of other things going on professionally. But I do feel like I'm going to pump the brakes for a moment and not consciously be like, I'm not dating, I'm stopping, but just consciously give myself a break. Because I think if I tried to put myself in a position right now, it literally would just kind of be going through the motions. I really don't have a desire or interest about it right now. I know I will one day. I don't know what day that would be. It could be next week. It could be next year. I just don't have it today. And I'm gonna honor and respect that. And I think from November to November, I've dated 4 guys for months at a time. So I think I'm good. I think I'm good on that. 2 of them were my boyfriends. 2 of them were dudes, I know. Dudes. Yeah, but 2 of them were literally my boyfriends, and I usually don't have that many boyfriends in a year. Over all the years I've been dating, I don't think I've ever had 2 boyfriends in a year. So yeah, I think I'm excited about what else I can offer myself right now. But I also am conscious of not shutting down, because I will do that too, and then look up and be sneaky and be like, wait, girl, what happened? So I do want to be conscious. But one of the things we were talking about as far as love and relationships and dating, and we say the success rate was an F. Realistically, we do talk about how we are familiar and know situations where people are in tragic situations. That's why their relationships end. We've never been in a tragic situation where someone physically harmed us or threatened us or made us feel unsafe. So that's a blessing. And as a woman, you have to recognize that's a blessing. If the relationship ended, it was a good day.
And nobody got hurt.
We are good. You ain't tear up nothing in my house. I ain't nervous around you. We're good. So we realize that still is a successful end to a relationship. But I feel like, I'm excited about the concept of what a dream situation can be. And I'm also excited about not settling for anything less. I know in this last year, my boundary game has gotten so strong and so tight. I've been really proud of myself all year of things that I felt were non-negotiables that other people who are in relationships like, girl, that ain't nothing. Girl, you tripping on it. Girl, that's just how men are. And I was like, I don't like it. This is not going to work for me. So that's probably been my growth piece that I've been most proud of, is my boundary setting and respecting my own boundaries. Because I know when I was younger, you might be like, I'm not answering phone no more, or I'm not talking to him. And then you right there in it, or you reaching out to them. Yeah, no, this year I'm good. Yeah. I said everything I needed to say to every man I needed to say it to. There's only one that I probably have not given it to, and that's just because I don't want to give him the impression that I care. But everybody else, I feel like I've been very honest and said, listen, this is why this is not working for me. This is what I need and require. You are not able to do that. we're good. So
yeah,
I'm giving myself an A+. Relationships, we're still at 0. But they've all been successful because ain't nobody stalking me. I know when we talked about if I ever come up missing, we really don't know who would have done it.
We've had that conversation before.
We've had that conversation. Yeah. At this point, if I came up missing, it's probably like some deranged fan that I don't even know. Yeah.
I just wouldn't do it.
Yeah, it's just somebody. It's somebody we y'all gonna have a hard time finding. It ain't gonna be none of my.
If a man ever tried to kidnap me, he would bring me right back.
He would bring you back. He'd be like, now wait, now what? You like what? Where we going? What we doing? What we about to do? we together forever? Like, you know what? Just get out of the stop sign. Let me give you some money to go. Get a ride.
Please get out. Just get out.
Like, we had a good 2021 in the midst of a crazy 2021 for everybody. So we hope you guys have grown in listening to our podcast.
I mean, we crossed the 100 episode mark. That's huge for a podcast, especially when it takes off like we do, because we take off.
Right, yeah, we don't do it that, and then we have our little hiatuses. And the other thing about having over 100 uploads for us is that it did, I don't even know if I told y'all this. One of the apologies I got was from the man who inspired the podcast, y'all. 2 weeks ago, the man who broke up with me via text message, which if you're not familiar with how we started, that is episode 1. It's horrible audio, but it tells you the story. He apologized to me 2 weeks ago. I accepted the apology. He asked, can we be friends? I said, well, if you can show you can be a friend, go have at it. I ain't heard from him since. But the point is, and those are those full circle moments that if he did not do that, we would not be here. And this community, this therapeutic resource for us, this outlet for us just personally, I think that's what makes it so easy for us to commit to creating this content.
Yeah,
because it's not like we're just like, oh, what we do say what we're going to talk about this week, but we always have something to talk about.
Even when we think we don't, we have something to say.
And that's the beauty of us. We will talk about something. And so we appreciate y'all allowing us to share whatever we're going through, because we know we're all going through something. We appreciate when y'all offer us your insights, your stories, your challenges, ask us questions. And it's been really cool, but that started from a breakup. So whatever you're going through right now, it's for a reason. Everything is as it should be. And the prayer should be that you grow from it and go to the other side and take what you learn. You know, that's my biggest lesson for myself, is just keep growing. Sometimes I reach my growth quota within a relationship and I'm like, oh, I've done all the growing I'm gonna do. I can go on to the next situation, but it's been a good year. I'm gonna claim 2021 as remember 2020 we thought was a good year.
Huh?
We thought 2020 was a good year too.
I know, considering, all things aside,
all of the horrible things aside.
Right. No, it was a good year. And 2021 came in. It actually came in probably a little bit more shaky than 2020 did. But overall, it was a good year. It was a fast year, though. Man, time was not crazy. Down.
2021 has flown. Like, we literally just have weeks left in 2021.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It went by really fast. And so hopefully, because, well, my grandma would always say, the older you get, the faster it goes. Yeah, so I think that's a testament to that too. That we know that time is fleeting. So hopefully y'all are taking advantage of the time you have right now. It's not promised. It's not guaranteed. Don't take it for granted. Be grateful. One of the other things I definitely want to share is that we really are going to start talking more about, even though next year when we come back, we'll still be talking about our relationships and relationship concepts and all that good stuff. But we also want to talk about the deprogramming of the centralized concept of romantic love, because the world and society would tell you, because you don't have a romantic love, you ain't loved, you lonely, you gonna die alone. And we do want to do our part in deprogramming that thought process, because both of us are so loved, so cherished, so adored by so many people, and we ain't got no man. And it would be wrong for us.
And no kids either, because that can come, people can use.
And no kids. And it would be wrong for us to perpetuate this idea that we didn't have all these wonderful things just because we don't have a man. And society tells women our age, particularly Black women, you're going to die alone. That's why you got no man. And we always laugh about being single. We want a partner just to enjoy life with, but we do want to do our part to destigmatize being a happy single. So we will always do that. Always.
Right.
But if we can find somebody, son. But yeah, just enjoy love wherever you get it, and don't discount it. Because even in that, whether I have really cool neighbors or family or people on social media, whatever, some people don't even have that. So I don't want to poom and be like, oh, that's nothing because I ain't got a man. I really have been feeling so much better consciously acknowledging all of the love that I do have.
Exactly.
And so I encourage everybody to just, wherever you get love, suck it up.
Suck it up.
All
Suck
right.
it up.
I think that's 2021 for us.
Huh.
I can't wait for 2022 now that we've been recording. I'm like, well what's next? But y'all know we'll always have something. So in the meantime, please take care of yourselves. Be safe. And again, we'll pop in here and there for a couple of events, but we'll definitely see y'all next year. In the meantime, and in between time, oh no, he didn't.
Girl, yes, he did.